Well, I'm just going to help you in the most simplest way, and in 20 days, you can get rid of this visceral fat. Well, now most of us want to get rid of that belly fat that's there, and you think that, okay, I just think I'm bloated or I'm getting older. But that stubborn belly, well, that is not normal fat. That, my friend, is visceral fat, which is wrapped around your organs like a python that is slowly choking your liver, your heart, your pancreas, and basically, trust me, that is the fat that's not the one that's right under your skin. But this is the one that's leaching in between your organs. So even if you're taking a photo with your friends and you're trying to suck up your stomach in, well, that visceral fat is not going to go anywhere. Now, the worst part is that you can't see it, but it is silently setting you up for diabetes, heart attacks, and even cancer. Yes, cancer. And I'm not here to scare you, I'm here to help you erase it naturally within 20 days with no pills, no starvation, just pure body science plus ancient Ayurvedic rituals that will actually help and it will work. So let's get started. So, firstly, what exactly is visceral fat and why it's more dangerous than obesity? So, visceral fat isn't that jiggly kind of fat that you have under your skin. It's the one that's deep inside, coated around your intestines, your liver, and even your kidneys. And the worst part is that it is metabolically active, meaning that it doesn't just sit there. It releases inflammatory compounds like cytokines and even TNF alpha that normally are known to damage your cells from the inside out. And even there are studies from the Harvard and even the Mayo Clinic and even the British Journal of Nutrition, which tells you one thing, and they all agree on the same thing, is that visceral fat is the most dangerous fat that someone can have or someone can carry. And even if you're lean, doesn't mean you are safe, because even a lean person can carry a fat like this. And for that, there is a term called TOFI, which means thin outside but fat inside. But now you might be wondering that, wait, why calorie cutting and crunches won't fix it? Well, now here's a pretty cruel joke. So most people try to lose visceral fat by doing crunches, or they think that, okay, I will do this juice cleanse or this green juice cleanse, and then they fail. Why? Because it's pretty simple, because visceral fat responds to insulin and not ab workouts. It builds up from your chronic inflammation, your crazy eating habits, your poor liver function, and trust me, also something that is your high cortisol, which is your stress hormone. And you cannot starve it away, you have to heal it away. And that's what this 20-day protocol is going to be about. So let's get straight into what this 20-day protocol is and what you have to be doing. Step one is that you need to do a 3-minute morning reset drink. Now, this is a very cool drink. So the first thing in the morning when you wake up, just take a little bit of warm water, take half a lemon, take 1 teaspoon of soaked chia seeds, and a little bit of or a pinch of cinnamon. And if you're wondering why this combo works, well, this combo hydrates, it regulates your blood sugar, and it flushes your gut and even signals your liver to start detoxing. Well, that's because lemon is a liver cleanser. If you look at cinnamon, well, that is great for your insulin sensitivity. And if you know about your chia seeds, well, that is a great fiber and omega 3, and also causes a great amount of fat oxidation. And all this together is Ayurvedic magic. Now, step two is fasted walking, because fasted walking is equal to fat oxidation mode. Now, before breakfast, do a 20-minute brisk walk, and yeah, just walking, but do it fasted. Because when you are fasted, your insulin level is low, and that is one of the best times your body taps into that visceral fat. And this is called fat oxidation because it uses your fat for fuel. And what I want you to do is add this twist, which is walk with deep nasal breathing. And if you're wondering why, because oxygen and fat is equal to energy. That's how fat is metabolized, literally burned off as carbon dioxide and water. And most people never even breathe deep enough to burn fat efficiently. Now, step three is the visceral fat elimination meal plan. For breakfast, which is post your walk, just make sure that you have maybe a bowl of oats and something light like a moong dal chila and even a little bit of herbal tea. Try to not have milk tea, because milk tea is not really great for you. Now, after you're done with your breakfast, give a good gap of around 5 hours before you even have your lunch. And just half an hour before you are going to consume your lunch, just make sure that you take a little bit of apple cider vinegar, pretty much like a teaspoon or a tablespoon. Just mix it in a full glass of water and consume it at least 45 minutes before you have your lunch. And in your lunch, have something like a dal khichdi or something that is really light. So you can use any of those dals. And with that, make sure that you're also having a side salad. It could be either a beetroot or just a mixed salad. So just make it as colorful as you can. But just make sure that this lunch, you're having it at least with a good gap of 5 hours from your breakfast. And then comes your dinner. So just make sure that whatever you do, you have your dinner before 7 p.m. So you can have something as simple as a millet khichdi or the khichdi that you've had in the afternoon, or a soup with lentils in it, or a little bit of moringa, or something like a tomato soup. So you're literally having something very light and not something heavy for your dinner. And once you're done with that, just take 1 teaspoon of psyllium husk in water post the meal. No sugar, no bread, and no fried food. The only reason for that is because your liver needs light and real food to metabolize fat. And even Ayurveda knew this long ago, but now science also confirms it. So try to do that. Step 4 is your 7-minute belly detox flow, which is yoga and breathing. Now, this is not a workout, this is visceral organ activation. So do your cat cow, which is 10 times, do your Uddiyana Bandha, which is your stomach vacuum at least 3 times, do your Kapalbhati a good 60 counts, leg raises a good 20 times. Hold your knees to your chest and just hold that, because that also helps you to stimulate digestion, your liver chi, and even your lymphatic drainage. So you literally will feel the release happening. Step 5 is eat like a diabetic at night. Now, visceral fat loves one thing, and that is sugar spikes. So we try to kill it with low glycemic foods and high fiber foods at night. So never eat fruits or dairy after 7. Instead, have a clear veggie soup, which can be sauteed with spinach or methi or with jeera. And you can also add 1 teaspoon of raw flax seeds or kalonji seeds, which are those black seeds that you can just put on it. And both of them are proven to reduce your waist circumference. And also, there is a study that I'm going to put in the description of the video. Now, step 6, you have to fix the real culprit, and that is your cortisol. Now, cortisol is your stress hormone, which we all know about. Now, you can still be eating really clean and still gain visceral fat. Why? Because your stress hormone, cortisol, holds fat hostage around your gut. So, how do you lower it? Well, firstly, no screens 1 hour before you sleep. Make sure you're consuming a lot of magnesium rich foods like pumpkin seeds, spinach, sesame seeds, or even if you can, try an ashwagandha tea at night, because that is really good for your HPA axis. And one thing that you can also do is just write down 3 things you are grateful for before sleeping, because this has clinically proven to lower cortisol. Now, step number 7 is the 16/8 rule of intermittent fasting or smart fasting. Now, you don't need to starve, but you need to understand that you need gaps. So eat within the 8-hour window and fast for 16 hours. Why? Because it gives your liver and your gut time to clean its own space. In Ayurveda, this is Agni, or your digestive fire, and in science, it is called autophagy. This is where your cells start doing a cleanup, and this only happens during fasting. And also, I'm going to give you a bonus, which is a 3-ingredient belly fat melt paste. And to do this is pretty simple. All you got to do is take half a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of ginger powder. Just take 1 teaspoon of coconut oil and just mix it and take it before bedtime. The thing is that this is an anti-inflammatory bomb that boosts your liver, it balances your gut bacteria, and also it does one more thing, which is it accelerates your fat metabolism overnight. Plus, the weird thing is that it tastes quite good. And I want you to understand just one thing, is that the fat that you can't see is the one that you must fight. Because most people ignore visceral fat until it's too late, until they are diagnosed with either pre-diabetes, fatty liver, or high cholesterol, or maybe something even worse. But just try this for 20 days and trust me, you will see and feel the shift. Not just in your waistline, but in your energy, your cravings, your digestion, your mood, literally everything. And this isn't about getting those 6 packs, but sometimes it's about your organ health. It's about turning off the fire that's burning you from the inside. So try this protocol and just do comment that I'm in if you are starting today. And if you want a 20-day downloadable PDF to follow, then do let me know in the comments and I will add that to the description. And until we meet again next, don't stress and be awesome. Rocher that.